Hi and welcome back to our channel. In this video, I want to talk about how you can estimate the financial impact of adding a substantial new add-on into your customer base. Now, the great part is that today AI does a lot of the math that you would have to pick up and use pivot tables to do, and you can get a lot of estimates very easily using the latest models. So we've been explaining how to think about new features. Should it be an add-on to the enterprise tier? Should it be an add-on across all tiers? Should it be included in, let's say, the premium tier and then provide as an incentive for lower tiers to upgrade? Or should it be included in all tiers so that the win rate increases, right? So I'm going to go through an example, recap some of what we've earlier talked about, how to make this decision, and show you how you can easily use ChatGPT to make this analysis. Alright, so this is a hypothetical business situation. You run a SaaS platform that is priced per user with 3 tiers. By 2025, the total ARR is now just under 23 million, with enterprise customer providing the bulk of dollars and growth momentum. Now you're evaluating a new feature, a new module called AI Viz, right? Today it's the season of AI products, so why not? We want to figure out the dollar impact across different scenarios for this new product. This is the rubric we have described in prior videos. Now I'm showing this to you with the different options filled out. So you have 2 axes of decision, right? How popular is this new feature and how much are people willing to pay for it? That's basically the 2 things. So if it's very popular and people are willing to pay a lot of money, you would like all of your customers to pay for it extra. So then it becomes a universal on every tier. All right, we're going to call it option B. Then fewer customers are interested, fewer people in the market are interested, but they're willing to pay a lot. So that could happen in 2 ways. You could sell it only to a slice of enterprise customers, right? It's possible that you think that only enterprise customers are going to find this relevant as an add-on, or you may want to incentivize upgrade into enterprise even for people who are in pro. Now that does mean that you have to pay attention to who these customers are and what is the utility for them. So A or D may be more or less relevant to you based on your specific situation. And then the C option is, it's very popular but the willingness to pay is not that high, in which case you bundle it in every plan and you do it because you think that it's going to increase win rate and therefore your overall revenue. So in this video, what we're going to do is show you how you can do this math, whether or not, how popular is something, how relevant it is to your different customer segments. That is something you know. But despite that, before you take a decision, I would recommend you run the numbers. You run back of the envelope math. All right. Here's how you do that. You pick out your CRM data. Now, traditional CRM data will give you the customer, the year the deal was sold, the tier the customer is on, the number of users, if that is the metric that you've sold it on, the net price per user, the ARR from that customer, and so on. This is traditional data you'll find in most CRMs. Now, what you can easily, instead of doing a lot of pivot tables, with the new AI technology, this is so easy for you to do. I've written a prompt here that, hey, A, B, C, D is what I've explained, and I'm modeling the following scenarios. That 25 of enterprise customer logos buy this add-on priced at 30% of their base ARR, or B, 40% of customers buy this add-on priced at 20% of base ARR, or C, that it is bundled, but because of that bundling, it raises total ARR by 5%, or D, that this feature is bundled in enterprise and 15% of pro customers upgrade to enterprise because of this at full list price. Now you can keep modifying these numbers, but this is the exact prompt that I will put into GPT. Before that, I'll show you, like, this is what the data set looks like, right? So this is data from the CRM. This is completely fictional data that I have created, but it looks exactly like how similar data has looked, and you will get similar data from your CRM. Now you can improve this prompt by feeding the data dictionary to the CRM as well, so it knows what fields are which to do the analysis easily. Now I fed it this data set. I said, hey, I've uploaded this Excel with 2 years of customer data and I want to understand 4 scenarios. I had certain values before, but then I updated my values later to the ones I showed you, the specific numbers I showed you in the scenarios. And this is the output I got, right? Scenario A, the incremental ARR is 1.2 million. So we are a subsegment of enterprise customers buy this. Scenario B, which is 1.8 million, which is good, right? This is the one which is on the top right quadrant, right? More people want at more price. But scenario D is actually netting us higher numbers. Now, we can look at the assumptions baked into it. We did say that it's at the full list price. So maybe if the list price was lower, the amount of incremental ARR would be different. And then scenario C, that the overall ARR is by 5%. So this is a helpful back of the envelope math to do. And GPT has actually mentioned how it has come to these numbers. I looked at the formulas and the formulas make sense. But as time goes on, the need for you to run pivot tables and do your analysis on your own starts to become less and less. And you can easily just do basic modeling analysis with O3 sort of GPT models, and they're going to be pretty good. So on this analysis, it feels, while I may think that it could be a universal premium to everybody, or I might have intuitively thought that, hey, maybe only few customers need this. It seems like there is a lot of upside to moving pro customers to enterprise. Now the question comes again is, who are these pro customers? Will they even find this? Because your math is completely conjecture. Now you have to marry that with your intuition. Who are those customers? Do they need this feature? How do they value this feature? Perhaps you can do some studies with existing customers. But you know that if this worked, that you have about 1 million more than scenario B, and that is worthwhile. So that is one way of making these decisions. The other thing to note is that many times product managers default to bundle in a feature or default to having that be an on-one plan, right? So to just have it be in one plan and incentivize the upgrade is not something you would naturally come to. Why not? Because sellers and sales teams will say, hey, you're making something new. I want you to put a price tag on it so that I can go to a customer and then sell them that. But in this case, you're actually netting out more money through the upgrade process than simply the add-on. Now you can make a case that, the upgrade process itself was going to yield something, but we're talking about incremental upgrade just because of this feature. This is a less intuitive thing that is going to be prevalent, especially in an enterprise SaaS company, because this is not how a seller is going to think. As the seller is going to say, hey, product manager, you want a number associated with that thing you did, and you want to see how much of a win it was for you, and I need to make my own salary. This is not going to be easily attributable, but if it is attributable, that 15% of logos upgrade because of that nets the company more money. So it's always worth doing this back of the envelope math and marrying that with your intuition in figuring out what to do with a new feature and how to roll this out in your packaging. So hope that was helpful, and I'll post the link to this data set in the description. Again, it's something I completely made up, but I've made it up based on experience, and you can create similar data sets in order to do your own math. And if you're working in a company, then you can do a lot of analysis right within GPT, and it'll do all of the things that you used to do with pivot tables in the past. So that was that video. Thanks for your time.